I'm Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I moved to London about 3-4 months ago for grad school, and I mostly post vlogs of my life here. I'm very jet lagged this morning. I was home in Los Angeles for a little over a week, and I didn't sleep last night / this morning until like 4 a.m. I think. I just couldn't fall asleep. But I'm up now. It's about 9:45 a.m. and I thought I would just chat specifically about why I'm in London, how I came to London, all that kind of stuff. Because something I found when I was home and just over the past term is a lot of my friends and family, I guess, don't know exactly why I'm here, what I'm studying, things like that, and I thought I would just talk about that, but I'm going to do it in the style of a get ready with me. So I'm going to use this Body Shop day cream from their vitamin C line. So first of all, I'm here doing a master's in management. It's an MSc management, so a Master of Science. I'm not here studying English literature, which I think a lot of my friends think I'm doing because that's what I studied during my undergrad education. But yeah, I'm not continuing literature. I'm not studying marketing or communications, although I was considering marketing for a little bit, and communications is related to what I did for my previous job, which is public relations. So I'm here doing a master's in management at UCL, University College London. Now I'm using this vitamin E moisture cream, also from the Body Shop. And I'm just mixing that with this Dr. Jart SPF 30 BB cream. A master's in management is not that popular, not that common in the States. It's a lot more common here in Europe. Yeah, in Europe and England. I kind of see it as, it's kind of like a baby MBA. The classes, it's only 1 year. There are some schools in the States that do offer it, I believe. I know that Kellogg, which is the business school at Northwestern University, they have a master's in management. But yeah, typically master's in management programs are 1 year long. So mine is 1 year from September 2016 to September 2017. And the courses you take are like those core business classes. So like in an MBA, the first year of the MBA would normally be like the core business classes, and then the second year are like mostly filled with electives, I believe. For me, I have 8 courses that I'm taking this entire year, and one of them is an elective, and then I have a dissertation. I'm just gonna go wash the lotion off my hands. Now I'm gonna use this sleek like eyebrow crayon. I just got this yesterday. It's like it's a crayon on one end and then the brush on the other. And I just got this yesterday because I left my normal eyebrow makeup at home in Los Angeles. As I was saying, my program is mostly just like core business classes. So last term I took managing finance, accounting, business strategy, and organizational behavior. And this term I'll be taking decision and risk analysis, business economics, markets and customers, and my elective, which is global corporate social responsibility. I think I said in like a couple vlogs ago, it's been difficult for me to adjust to taking these kinds of classes. So just completely different from what I studied for my bachelor's. But I'm liking it. I enjoy the challenge. And honestly, I just enjoy not working full-time right now after having done that for about 3 years. And the reason I chose to do a master's in management is that I would like to get a job in management consulting. I did speak to some of my friends who are consultants, and I know that I don't need this degree in order to go into consulting necessarily, but I just feel like I'll be more confident in myself after having this kind of foundation of knowledge in the form of a degree, not like a certification or things like that. Just because it's all so new to me, I kind of want that time to study it, even though this program is really fast-paced. It might not absorb as much as if, you know, this were my bachelor's, but at the same time, being a grad student and, you know, having taken time off of school before coming back, and having thought really hard about what I wanted to study, just being older, I do feel more committed versus undergrad, where it's just, you're really young when you start, and if, like me, you go away for college, it's just really exciting. You're trying to balance, you know, your social life and everything. It can be harder to focus on school. Okay, I think that's good enough there. Now I'm gonna use this Rimmel clear eyebrow gel. Another thing I get asked a lot, or that I did get asked a lot when I first moved here, was, you know, why did you come to school in England and not in America, where you're from? There's a lot of reasons for that, actually. Now I'm gonna use this NARS bronzer in Laguna. It's probably a little bit too dark and orange for my skin right now, but whatever. So one of the reasons I decided to come to England is because 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago to the day, I came to England to study abroad. So this was my third year of my undergrad career, and I studied abroad at the University of Bristol for the spring semester, so from January to June 2012. All the cliches were true. You know, I had a life-changing experience. I made friends for life. It was my first time in England or Europe in general, so I got to travel and I loved it. I knew that I wanted to go back to England after that, but it was just a matter of figuring out when and how. So blush, I'm going to use this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in Electra. Okay. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons. And then another reason is that when I was interning, like half a year after I graduated college, I met one of my coworkers who's actually the same friend that I visited in Dublin a couple weeks ago. We both happened to move like across the pond around the same time. But I met her and I learned that she did her master's in London. That kind of was a spark that, you know, gave me a little bit of direction on like what to research in terms of programs. So I started by looking at the program she did, which was more like communications related. And from there I ended up, you know, finding the management program that I'm doing. Now I'm gonna do my highlight in this Becca, what is it called? Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone. So I'm gonna put that. Yeah. Another reason is that, as I said earlier, or kind of implied, I guess, I'm switching career paths. So before this, I was doing public relations, but now I'm trying to get into consulting. Because I'm switching career paths, I prefer a one-year program, just so that I'm not taking too long of a break between jobs. There aren't too many one-year programs in the States, but most masters in the UK are 1 year. Going along with that, there aren't too many masters in management programs in the States. They're mostly over here. I did apply to a few MBA programs in the States, but I didn't get into any of them. So that also helped with the decision. Although, because of the next reason, I think I would have chosen to come here anyway, and that reason is the tuition. The tuition here is so much cheaper. So for example, my program is a little over £24,000 for the year, whereas in the States, a master's program or an MBA is going to be $50,000 to $60,000 per year. So $100,000 to $120,000 total. Even though I incur a lot of living expenses being here, versus if I got into an MBA program in Los Angeles and I could have, you know, stayed at home with my parents if I wanted to, it's still gonna be cheaper if I'm here. Now I'm gonna use this Too Faced Natural Eyes palette, eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna use Heaven, Fashion, what is this? Push Up, and Silk Teddy. That's gonna be in there. You can tell which ones I use a lot. Another thing that I get asked is what I'm gonna do after my program. I will be looking for a job in consulting, but I'm open to other things. As I've mentioned in another vlog, I didn't get any interviews for the graduate schemes that I applied for. So those are entry-level jobs that you recruit and apply for about a year in advance to start the following fall, and you start like as a class of incoming employees. So I didn't get interviews for the ones that I applied for, but that's okay. I'm gonna apply just for the regular the regular job openings. I'm also open to other types of jobs that I'm researching at the moment. In terms of location, I'm going to apply to jobs in London, Los Angeles, and New York. Maybe others if, there's some dream job in another city. I would love to stay in London because I just feel like 1 year is not enough. But I do think it's kind of difficult to get a visa. So the UK used to have this visa for people with master's degrees from the UK. After you get a master's in the UK, you can apply for this visa that allows you to work here for 2 to 3 years, but they got rid of that. So instead I would have to get a job offer and then apply for a tier 2 visa. So yeah, it's a little bit more difficult, but I'm gonna try. My visa though is technically valid. I'm also gonna use a little bit of this shade Erotica. My current visa is actually valid until January 2018. So that's because I have a tier 2 visa, which is for students mostly, I think. And because I'm here for 12 months or more, my visa is valid for 4 months, for up to 4 months after my program ends. If you're gonna be a student here for 6 to 12 months, then you would still have a tier 4 visa, but then that one would expire 2 months after your program ends. And if you're here for less than 6 months, like I was when I studied abroad, I was here for 5 months, you would apply for just a general student visa. But where I was going with that is my current visa, the tier 4 visa allows you to work part-time. You can work up to 20 hours a week, whereas the general student visa that you get if you're here for less than 6 months, you can't work or even volunteer on that one. But I can work part-time, so like if I don't have a job by September and I have enough of my savings still, then I might work part-time and just stay in London, travel Europe while I can. We'll see. So my plans after are very up in the air. I do have an idea of what I want to do, but just depends on a lot of different factors. I don't want to wear eyeliner today, so I'm just gonna take this Sexpresso. Okay, so my camera stopped recording. I don't know what the last thing I said was. I was talking about how one of the reasons I want to try to find a job in England is so I can leverage my university's name, because it's a lot more well known here. And it is well known in the States in like the research community, I think, but just general knowledge of the school and its reputation, it's just not that well known in the States. I think it would be easier to kind of get a foot in the door with my resume and having UCL on it over here than back at home. And I don't know if I got this either, but I'm using this Lash Sensational Mascara from Maybelline. What I was just talking about before I realized my camera cut out. London is pretty different from Bristol, as expected, because I think London is different from a lot of cities in England, because I think the capital is usually pretty different because it's, the most metropolitan, and there's people from all over the world. So that's the main thing, is that I feel like I meet more international people, more foreigners, however you want to put it, than native British people here, especially since I'm here as a student. And UCL has a lot of international students. Yeah, that's different, because in Bristol I feel like I really was immersed in the British culture, whereas here in London it's more of like a global culture that just happens to be in England, which is still cool. I get to meet people from all over the world, which I love. Okay, I just checked the time and I have to leave in 7 minutes. Well, I mean, I'm gonna walk there, so I can just adjust how quickly I'm walking, but I'm gonna just quickly do my hair. I actually just cut my hair while I was home, and I love it. But I actually kind of wish I did it a little bit shorter, because It's gonna grow quickly, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna like kind of straighten my hair, but then put a few curls in. Yeah, if you are at all interested in studying abroad or, you know, getting like your full degree abroad, I highly recommend it. I can't say much about doing a bachelor's abroad, but yeah, if you have questions about studying abroad, like as an undergrad student or going to grad school in England, please feel free to ask and I will answer them. I think that's good enough. Maybe I'll put a clip in my hair. I'll deal with it later. I'm gonna go head out now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.